Tonight on KPBS Evening Edition, a San Diego attraction is finally back open in time for 4th of July. KPBS reporter John Carroll has a preview.
This is what the plunge pool looked like in 1925. Wait till you see what it looks like today. I'm John Carroll. I'll show you coming up live.
Plus, Seaport Village is getting an upgrade. Details on the renovations aimed at making the spot a must-see destination. And diamonds are a girl's best friend. But when they're made in a lab, do they still hold the same value? We take a look. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening. It's Thursday, July 4th. Thanks for joining us. Happy Independence Day. I'm Ebony Monet. After 5 years and $12 million, the plunge pool in Mission Beach is back open. KPBS reporter John Carroll is there now. Hi, John.
Hey, Ebony, I drew the long or the short straw, whatever is the best straw today, to be sent down here. Look at this today. After a multi-million-dollar renovation, this is the plunge at Mission Beach. It is an astonishing piece of work. The pool itself is in its original footprint, but there are oh so many other new things. The whole superstructure around it is new. There are other things, and to tell you about that better than I ever could, I'm going to turn to the general manager here. This is Spencer Meinberg. Spencer, thanks so much for joining us. Happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th, John. We're happy to have you guys down here and celebrating our grand opening of the plunge. So it's been 5 years that the plunge has been closed. We're so excited to bring this back to the community and offer this brand new beautiful facility.
It's really astonishing. It's breathtaking. Tell me about the challenge that you guys faced when you first got into this. You thought it was going to be a couple of $1 million to renovate it, not so fast, huh?
Yeah, the secrets were in the infrastructure. So as soon as we started pulling back some of the layers, we realized a lot of the infrastructure was corroded from all the salt water and just the conditions down here at the beach. So what was once a couple million project started being tens of millions, and it's kind of developed into, we had to build it from the ground up. So we had to tear everything down to rebuild it and build it the right way.
So let's just walk over here. Chris, my photographer, is already ahead of me, and let's talk about the tiles. That's really, really interesting.
Yeah, the tiles are incredible. So in this pool, you will never see this in any other modern pool. We have about 3 million tiles. And so all the tiles are the same size as they were in 1925. They don't make that size anymore. And so we had to get those sourced. It took about a year to source all of our tiles so that we can reconstruct the plunge as it was in 1925.
And I was saying it's in the original footprint, but you told me the deep end back then was 17 feet deep. It's not that anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the way that the ocean and water levels are and how the earth changes over time, now we're only 6 feet deep. So it used to be 17 feet with the platforms and diving. Now we have the 6 foot in where we have 7 regulation 25-yard lanes that you can swim.
That's really cool. The pedestal right there is original. But there's a lot of it surrounding that is anything but original. You guys have got a lot of new stuff coming online here.
Yeah, so we are connected to Fit Athletic Club, Fit Mission Beach down here, and premier fitness facility in San Diego. If you haven't been to a Fit Athletic Club, you need to check them out. This one is one of a kind. I'm going to say it's the nicest fitness facility in the world.
I'm sure you are.
I've been all around the world. This is the nicest one. We have Group X with ocean breezes, an outdoor turf deck for doing functional exercises, your cardio, your weight rooms, you name it, a high-end amenities. It's premier fitness, and everybody will love it.
So right now we're in a month that's sort of a soft opening, quote unquote, right? You guys aren't open for full hours just yet.
Correct. So we're in kind of our preview month down here at the plunge. So just for the month of July, we're open 12 to 5. If you sign up for a membership during the month of July, you get the remainder of the month free, and we're waiving enrollment. Memberships start as low as $30 per month. So really the best way to join and enjoy the plunge is membership. We also have our day rates, and all of that's found on our website.
Tell me quickly, if you can, also about the climate control in here, which consists of the roof, the windows, the doors.
Yeah, so we have a retractable roof, one-of-a-kind open air system here. It's all climate controlled, so it's a perfect swimming weather year-round. Right now it's a nice 75 degrees. The water's 83 degrees. In the winter we'll go a little bit warm in here, so when you get out you're not chilled. And so we can control all the roof, all the windows, everything is controlled automatically.
That is so cool. And there's really been we have about 30 seconds left, so just so you know, there's been a whole renovation of everything down here, right, beyond the plunge.
Yeah, so Belmont Park has kind of reinvented what family fun looks like. So if you haven't been to Belmont Park in a while, you got to check it out. It's incredible. We have adrenaline zone with a zip line, ropes course, rock walls, laser tag. The Giant Dipper roller coaster just celebrated its 94th birthday today, and we have amazing beachfront restaurants down here as well.
It is also cool. Spencer, thank you so much, and congratulations. Guys, you got to come down here and check this out. It is really, really a beautiful pool. Don't come today, though. The traffic is terrible, okay? Live from Mission Beach, John Carroll, KPBS News.
It looks absolutely beautiful. Thanks, John. Sunny and mild weather for the 4th of July. Meteorologist Paul Williams shows us what's in store for this holiday weekend.
Well, we're watching out and bracing for very choppy waters for us as a result of things just staying kind of kicked up for us. So we have a beach hazard statement. The surf is going to stay between 3 to 6 feet. Now, we are expecting minor tidal, beach, and possible marina flooding as a result of this. Now, as you take a look at the last 6 hours, it's staying relatively cooperative and docile for the most part. I mean, we're still seeing this inland flow that's still staying pretty steady. We have a good deal of moisture that's going to continue to build throughout the evening and overnight period. Not so much where it's going to culminate in a chance of scattered showers, but we are going to feel the stacking up of that moisture that will continue to be the case for us throughout a good portion of the Southern California area. Now, as you take a look at Futurecast, we start at 9 o'clock in the evening. We see the cloud cover staying a bit thick for us offshore. Now, as we put this into motion, we begin to go through, as we go into Friday, morning, and then by the noontime Friday, we're looking for still a few scattered clouds, heavier cloud cover actually right off the coast, and not necessarily making a gigantic move inland. Friday afternoon, Friday evening, we're still staying a bit dry, but we start seeing the influx of more moisture early Saturday morning, late Friday night, going into Saturday morning, and the moisture content continues to rise very steadily. For tonight, 63 degrees, increasing cloud cover. And for tonight, and then as we go into tonight, we're looking for example, taking a look at Mount Laguna, 54 degrees, Oceanside, 61 for tonight's forecast. For Friday, the heat builds up very quickly throughout Southern California, going into western portions of Arizona. We'll take a look at the sunshine that we're expecting. For example, for tomorrow, we're looking for in Ramona 85 degrees and mostly sunny skies. And as you go into the weekend, we anticipate that dry conditions to still prevail for us for our neck of the woods. And we're looking for it to stay pretty uneventful as far as thunderstorms are concerned. For the coast, Friday, 74, 72 with sunshine on Saturday and 71 on Sunday. As we go inland, it's a little bit warmer. I mean, 81 for us on Friday and sunshine. It's 79 on Saturday, 78 on Sunday. And then as far as the desert is concerned, we're expecting 104 for us on Friday as well as Saturday. For KPBS News, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Paul Williams.
Beautiful Seaport Village is getting a facelift in an effort to make the bayfront destination even more popular. KPBS reporter Matt Hoffman shows us how the Port of San Diego is upgrading.
What we want to let people in San Diego know is that we are open for business here. Seaport Village, this is a great place to come and a great place to be.
Last October, the Port of San Diego assumed ownership of Seaport Village and found it needed some upgrades.
So we're investing $2.2 million in the next couple of years just on paint and some deferred maintenance. We're going to put some new furniture out in some areas to kind of activate the areas to get people to come here. And
Seaport Village has been open for nearly 40 years and recently has struggled to retain vendors.
The challenge is a lot of these spaces are old and there's the deferred maintenance. So we're hoping that this $2.2 million will help with that. Just bring these buildings back up to speed.
Village operators say they have heard feedback from visitors.
The biggest one is just wanting to see something happen and something change here as it's it stayed stagnant over the last few years.
The port listened and is now rebranding the space.
We just repainted the carousel, and the logo is kind of the carousel, and that, to us, that represents the past of Seaport Village. It represents our present. It also represents our future.
In 5 to 7 years, there are plans to completely redevelop Seaport Village.
So for the foreseeable future, until we do the redevelopment of the property, we are going to actually be putting new tenants in. We're going to keep doing improvements. We're going to make this the world-class venue that it has been in the past. so people can come down and enjoy it.
In addition to building maintenance, the port is spending nearly $1 million on new seating, landscaping, play areas, and lighting.
We really carefully think about what we're doing here, put the right tenants in, make the right improvements, so that whether you're coming from out of state, whether you live in state, whether you live in San Diego, whether you live right down the street in a residential project, this is a place you want to come.
Upgrades to the property are currently underway. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
For thousands of years, the San Diego region has drawn people searching for wellness. In the final installment of our series for the California Dream collaboration, KPBS's Amita Sharma looks at why the region's allure remains.
As the story goes, newlyweds Deborah and Edmund Zake bumped through a rugged dirt road in an old Cadillac. The year was 1940, and they were set on opening a health camp in Tecate, Mexico, a short drive from San Diego.
When we got to there was nothing. I mean nothing. We're talking about no electricity, no running water. We had outhouses.
But Deborah, now 97, says they did have Mount Cuchuma. It was at the foot of this mountain where they built their retreat business, Rancho La Puerta.
In the morning, everyone climbed the mountain. And they still do.
The Kumeyaay Indians have long believed Cuchuma is suffused with power. It's a place where shamans held rituals. It's a place of renewal and mysticism.
It's hard to explain, but on the morning hike, I've had so many guests tell me, my father spoke to me. I mean, you know, they're sort of open to getting suggestions from their own, but, you know, and they have interesting experiences.
From the early days, Rancho La Puerta offered meditation and yoga classes. Guests worked in an organic garden. Deborah's husband, Edmund, who was once head of the British International Health and Education Society, lectured on living within, quote, the natural and cosmic laws. The ranch became enormously successful.
And we have had all kinds of awards as the best in the world.
It brought Hollywood.
Kim Novak, who stayed a lot, and Burt Lancaster. But then we had all the young starlets.
It was the starlets who asked Deborah to open a spa that was more private, more exclusive, and closer to Hollywood. So in 1958, she opened the Golden Door Spa in northern San Diego County. She later sold the Golden Door, but still lectures there and at Rancho La Puerta, which, she says, still has that same special quality it had decades ago.
Everybody tells me when they drive into the ranch, because we have cars that go and bring them, they say, they feel at peace. They feel relaxed. They breathe.
This feeling is not limited to guests at one of the region's health resorts. Many of San Diego's 35 million annual visitors also report a perceptive change once they get here.
And as they walk outside of the airport, they just say they feel a difference in the air.
Carrie Verbitt-Kapich is the Chief Operating Officer for the San Diego Tourism Authority.
They can feel the sunshine, they feel this fresh breeze. They actually say it makes them feel better and different immediately upon coming into the city.
The authority's communications director, Candace Ely, says after extensive focus group interviews with visitors, she believes they're experiencing San Diego's, quote, sun vibes.
They get this good vibe, this good healthy feeling when they're here. They feel like they're their best self when they're here.
Deborah credits all the usual traits, the beauty, the sea, the climate. But she says there's something else.
I wish I knew. It just is. But the Indians, you know, who settled here had quite a high degree of culture and had the sense to pick it. So, I mean, it's always been a place where people select.
Amita Sharma, KPBS News.
This story is part of our California Dream collaboration. Would it matter if the diamond on your finger was grown in a lab? KPBS science and technology reporter Shalina Chatlani talked to experts who say, while many people like these cheaper stones, some diamond purists are concerned.
At Gemological Institute of America labs around the world and in Carlsbad, gemologists are checking lots of precious stones every day. And that includes diamonds, whether they're from the earth or from a lab. Dr. James Shigley is a distinguished research fellow here. He points to an instrument called the ID-100.
The light is produced by a light source, comes down through the optical cable, which you are positioning very near the diamond, and it is looking for a fluorescence pattern, a spectrum, which it collects through the optical cable to the detector. And there is a particular fluorescence pattern that is unique to natural diamonds that are colorless and near colorless, that is not present in lab-grown diamonds.
Shigley says even though lab and natural diamonds are chemically the same, some purists believe the rocks should still be valued differently. That's because natural diamonds are rare. They were formed deep below the Earth's surface for millions of years and brought to the top, in some cases, by volcanic eruption. GIA's diamond grading system and analysis is followed by jewelry manufacturers around the world. It's been offering scientific expertise to those who want to find out where their diamonds come from.
These are increasingly available, these lab-grown diamonds, in the marketplace. They're increasingly showing up in pieces of jewelry, and because they're not visually recognizable, you have to have some additional testing with a device like this or in our laboratory to identify them.
GIA has been producing reports or putting inscriptions on stones to indicate where they come from. But identification is only one concern, says diamond industry consultant Ben Janowski.
The ramping up for production of lab-grown diamonds, which is already occurring, production is increasing every single year, and it's becoming less and less expensive to do it. If that continues, at some point, we're going to undermine the value of diamonds.
The main impact, he says, will be on diamond miners, dealers, and manufacturers who base diamond value on their rarity.
Counter-argument to the classic argument about a natural diamond coming out of the ground has been that this has less environmental impact, that you've got, it's controlled, there is no blood diamonds involved, because it can be made any place. And to some degree, that has validity.
So, for the most part, Janowski says, the industry will largely depend on the public and how people feel about buying a cheaper lab-grown stone or shelling out for the natural ones. Shalina Chatlani, KPBS News.
July 4th is a time for family, fun, and fireworks. But fireworks are anything but fun for dogs. KPBS reporter John Carroll has some tips on how to keep your four-legged friends safe while the bombs are bursting in the air.
4th of July tends to be a fun day for people. It is probably the most terrifying day for dogs.
The head of San Diego County's Department of Animal Services is sounding a familiar warning, one that everybody with dogs needs to heed.
It is just a sheer state of panic for them, and the only thing that they know how to do is flee, and they'll do everything they can to get away from that noise.
When Dan D'Souza says they'll do everything, he's not exaggerating.
You will see a dog in a backyard jump a fence, dig through a fence, break through a fence. You will have dogs in a house break through a window to escape.
So what to do if you want to get out and enjoy one of the many fireworks displays around the county? D'Souza says if you love your four-legged friends, you should stay home with them.
If you have a child that's deathly afraid of fireworks, you wouldn't leave your child at home and go off. Why would you do that for a dog?
But if you're going to go anyway, and you live close enough to a fireworks display to hear the explosions, put the dogs in an isolated room with their bed, toys, things they're familiar with. Turn a TV on, tune to something like a cooking channel with calm voices. Beyond that, make sure your dogs are microchipped, and there's another way to be prepared if your dogs run away. D'Souza says check out a website called Finding Rover.
Finding Rover is facial recognition. It is really cool technology. They can do that now. It's free. and we photograph every single one of our dogs here, and if we get that match, you would be notified that the dog is safe and secure at one of our shelters.
Unfortunately, it's pretty much a sure thing that when July 5th rolls around, more of these kennels will be filled, but there's something you can do about that. Come on down to the County Animal Shelter here in Bonita and adopt one of these babies. Give them a forever home. John Carroll, KPBS News.
There's more to the 4th of July than just fireworks. There's concerts and a little tap dancing, too. KPBS arts editor Nina Guerin takes a look.
If you're looking for something to do after a day of 4th of July barbecuing, just step outside, because chances are there's a fireworks display nearby. Along with the Big Bay Boom happening along the San Diego Bayfront, many neighborhoods around the county have their own fireworks displays. From Escondido and Del Mar to Lake Murray and Chula Vista, fireworks begin at 9 o'clock at area parks and community centers. Check out our 4th of July guide for details at kpbs.org/fireworks. Another 4th of July option is to celebrate the USA with Lyle Lovett and his large band.
And I like cream in my coffee, and I like to sleep late on Sunday.
Lovett is a singer and composer who performs a variety of classic American styles, everything from jazz and country to gospel and blues. This concert is unique to San Diego since this is actually Lovett's first time performing on the 4th of July. So expect some musical surprises from this Grammy Award-winning musician and stay for the post-show fireworks. Finally, happening over the weekend is another kind of celebration, one devoted to tap dance pioneers. California Rhythm Project brings back its popular Taproot show that features iconic tap dance numbers by Bill Bojangles Robinson and James Buster Brown. This show opens Bernardo Winery's 2019 Summer Dance Series and features local professional tappers who will also perform contemporary and salsa-inspired numbers. For KPBS Arts, I'm Nina Guerin.
And if you enjoy the arts, it's time to mark your calendar. UC San Diego's Art Power just released its new dance, music, and special events calendar. Art Power organizers are bringing in performers from around the world.
So Art Power is the presenting arts organization at UC San Diego, meaning that we bring artists from all over the world to perform on campus in the genres of dance, chamber music, jazz, American roots, global music, and some special events as well. In addition to what the artists do on stage, we also have them engage with students in the classroom and in master classes and workshops to enhance the academic experience of students through creativity.
You just announced your 2019-2020 season. Can you talk about some highlights?
Sure. So this year, our special events are have a focus on prominent and brilliant authors. So we're going to have Samin Nosrat, who is the chef and author of Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, and also the Netflix host. And she's actually a San Diego native originally, so it'll be a homecoming for her. We'll have Deidre Baer, who is a famed biographer. She's written about Al Capone, Simone de Beauvoir, as well as other really interesting characters in our history. And then we'll be welcoming back David Sedaris, who is always a fan favorite. And then in addition to that, we have our Global Music Series this year is focusing on artists who are modernizing Asian musical traditions. So taking traditional Asian music instruments and then sort of flipping them on their head and innovating with them. So we're really excited to expose our audiences to that as well. And then perhaps in our most participatory event that we've ever had at Art Power, we'll be inviting a group called Choir, Choir, Choir. And they are two artists who form impromptu choirs. People show up. They don't have to be professional singers. They learn a song together, they rehearse, and they create the concert on the spot. So the audience becomes the artists, and we are actually going to be doing that concert on the border. So our choir of participants will be formed in both the U.S. and in Mexico. I think the overall goal for Art Power is to enrich the cultural landscape of UC San Diego, but also our San Diego community. And in that, we're trying to present artists who spark dialogue and discovery. So whether it's through the culture that they're representing, the creativity that they're using in their particular discipline, or the identities that they represent.
Why is it equally as important to be rich culturally and in the arts?
Well, I think just as our innovative researchers and artists in the arts and humanities at UC San Diego inspire us, we hope that these artists from off campus also inspire them, our faculty members and our students, to encourage them to be more creative in whatever academically rigorous environment that they're in. And that's why we feel it's so important to connect the artists with students beyond the stage. Sometimes those are the most rich experiences that we have with the artists when they're here in town.
So sometimes San Diego gets the bad reputation of not having enough culture. Do you think that Art Power helps turn that around?
I sure hope we do. I mean, I think that we're really striving to make San Diego more of a cultural destination, and I think that that's helped by all of the work that's happening with other arts organizations and artists in San Diego. I've lived here for now almost 15 years, and I've seen the progress culturally and artistically, and it's really exciting to be a part of this new movement in San Diego.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Art Power season starts this fall, and tickets to individual shows go on sale at the end of this month. Well, that's our show for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Happy Independence Day.